Good morning. This is Michelle Oliver, and we are here live with ProtectX International. And today we have Carol McKown, CEO of ProtectX International, and Raise Global Services as well. So, Carol, welcome. It's so wonderful to see you.
Oh, Michelle, it's so great to see you too. What a beautiful spring day.
It's a beautiful spring day here in Colorado. It's snowing.
Oh man, well,
Uh,
it's not snowing here in Georgia, where we're in the epitome of pollen and beautiful flowers and all of that. It's a good time of year to be in Georgia.
Well, this is a great time of year to talk about what we are going to talk about. But before we get into the four pillars, could you share a little bit so you have a company called Raise Global Services and then ProtectX International. Can you
Yes.
share just a little bit about how they are related, what the
Well,
differences are?
absolutely. I started Raise Global Services 10 years ago, right around this time. And the purpose of Raise Global was to find innovative technologies that would add value to humankind. Technologies in energy, pure water, housing, health, and so forth. And as part of the health initiative, about a year ago, I formed a joint venture with a group to bring new technologies in the health spectrum to market and to the clients that we were already working with in the energy sector and places like that.
Mhm.
So together we formed ProtectX International, and because of the massive devastation of the COVID-19 pandemic on business around the world, we've been focused on finding best-in-class technologies for businesses to allow their stakeholders, their customers, their employees, their members, and their students, in the case of education, to be able to feel confident that they're going back to work and play and uh, places where they study and environments that are going to be able to protect them the most, so that fear goes away and we can start living again.
So you want people to feel confident and safe to go back to their work environments, their school environments, their play environments, and basically get back to life, get back to living.
Yeah, I've always, everything I do, I sort of take a holistic approach, whether it's, with my own body or with the companies that I work with. And I don't believe you can focus on just one piece of that. I think, as far as us as individuals, we have to focus on, all four parts: being healthy physically, mentally and emotionally, spiritually, financially, and so forth, in order to be the best that you can be. And so
Mhm.
everything that I look at as I look at the world in general, is to try to take the best of innovation that's out there and put it together in a holistic approach, so that I know without a doubt that whatever we are presenting to the world is going to be what's going to be best for the world. And I take great pride in that, especially, when you think about Earth Day today.
Yes.
Today.
How appropriate that we're talking.
And
Yes.
why I wouldn't call myself, a tree hugger or whatever. I am a tree hugger. I love things to be beautiful, and but it takes clean, wonderful, non-toxic environments for that to happen. And so I focus on those types of things, so that I
Mhm.
know without a doubt that we're doing things to help people and bring them into a life that's whole and healthy, rather than just bringing solutions to the table because it's the financial thing that people are often doing.
Yes, it sounds like so the four pillars, is that part of the holistic approach? Can you share a little bit about what those 4 pillars are. And I'm sure that those 4 sections are really what hold up the holistic approach to this health and safety for environments.
Exactly. As we looked at the things, the protocols and the products that corporations were using previous to COVID and the way they were looking after their people then versus what they've been forced into now, how do they open back up? It's often neglected to think about what does this whole picture look like? And being an advocate of what does this whole picture look like, I've and my team have spent the last year investigating what is the whole picture. And so we looked at 4 pillars, as you spoke about, surfaces, of course, because everybody's talking about disinfecting and so forth. But we also looked at air and air quality. We looked at water and water quality within buildings. We just take for granted that the water that we pour out of our tap is safe. Maybe not.
Not
And then
so much.
we also investigated, human touch. How do humans interact with each other? And it's important that we do interact with each other. But even as a higher level than that on the business side of things, we wanted to think the way the C-suite or the administration of large companies or school systems or universities or hospitals think about. And they have to think about even more things. They have to think about the profitability and their budget. They have to think about what's necessary that the state or the federal government puts in place and those types of regulations. They have to look at what is going to keep their employees safe, okay, so that their employees can go to work instead of being hung up at home with asthma or other related respiratory illnesses.
Mm-hmm.
They have to look at risk mitigation. They want to set themselves up so they don't get sued for doing something wrong. So when we take the holistic approach, not only do we take those 4 key pillars and put them in the center of what we talk about, we also take a look at that individual environment. A dental office may be a lot different than a kindergarten class, may be a lot different than a fast food restaurant, which is way different than, say, an industrial complex where you've got teams and teams of people coming in, or if you are in transportation and you're moving strangers from one place to the other. So when we look at this, we are looking at the whole picture. And that's what makes the difference, because it's not a one-size-fits-all solution at all.
So when you're looking at this holistically, it's every aspect. It sounds like there are so many aspects of this, from budgeting to risk mitigation. And then there's risk mitigation in terms of toxicity that you're also addressing with these 4 pillars, correct? For everyone to feel safe and not be reacting to harsh chemicals.
Well, it's not just feeling safe, okay? Everybody needs to feel safe. And so part of the feeling safe is positive messaging that's telling the truth about what it is that you are doing to make them safe.
Mm-hmm.
Part of it is communication. And so we work with our partners, our clients, and how do we relay to your people that are precious to you, that they are precious to you, and that you've done everything possible to think about how they are going to benefit from this environment. And this isn't just about COVID. This goes way beyond that.
Mm-hmm.
COVID has just put a magnifying glass on situations that were already in existence. People were using toxic chemicals to clean buildings for decades. Why? Because those toxic chemicals were cheap. Do they work? Absolutely. They may kill bacteria, fungus, mold, stop the spread of viruses off of surfaces and so forth. But what we know about today is the overuse of those chemicals, or when they come into human contact, especially when you think about the precious skin or lungs of our children. We need to be extra careful about what it is we're doing. And so while I looked at this, things that you may have done, your protocol, or in the way that you've done things in the past, may absolutely not be what you should be doing in the future. And I think it's just an ignorance, because we're so easily swayed by what is on the commercial market and what we've been told all our lives that's safe for us. And if you really peel back the onion and you really want to understand what is safe and isn't safe, you may be surprised to see what you might find out. So for companies and schools and so forth, and even personally, we've done the job of peeling back that onion to look for solutions that are green, organic, that don't leave a residue, that are food safe. So that if you're laying a sandwich, you're a 5-year-old and you're laying your sandwich on your desk, you're not getting any toxicity when you get ready to take a bite of that sandwich later on after it's been cleaned. I wanted to work with solutions that even neonatal intensive care units at hospitals would say, yes, this is safe for these little preemie babies.
Wow.
And safe for preemie babies, then it's safe for everybody, from that little kid walking into nursery up to the CEO of these major companies. And everyone should rest assured that there are products out there that, like I said, address your safety with regard to your air, your water, your surfaces, and even your human touch. The FDA does a lot in terms of that to show us, the guidelines and so forth. And the CDC has done a lot to show us the guidelines, but I don't think that's enough. I think you have to take those guidelines, and I think you have to really think about what you're doing. I have to think about too, though, is it in the budget, or does it make sense for the groups that we're working with? And so we've also worked on not only what those solutions are that are like that, but how do we develop programs that will fit within the budget that they have, and make it safe for the people that are coming into their environment. And then, like I said, and then how do we let your stakeholders know about this? So we try to look at it from soup to nuts,
Mhm.
the whole picture is what we look at, and we do it in a way that is going to add value to everyone that is associated with your organization.
Yeah, it's very, very impressive. And I love the way you said that the whole pandemic, everything about COVID has really put a magnifying glass on what we were doing originally. People are more interested, they are becoming more educated immediately out of necessity. So it sounds like everything, I mean, it's incredible how deep ProtectX International is able to go from a holistic perspective. Every aspect of that is covered, and that the products and services are actually being used in neonatal facilities. That says a lot in terms of the safety and the toxicity or non-toxic levels of chemicals and solutions that you are providing.
When I think back on all of this, while I love the work that I do, I could really care less about a particular product. And I'm not here to push products. That's not here what I'm about. What I'm here to say is that all the fear that we've lived in for an entire year is not good for us, and that people need to be with people. And we work best together. We work best in relationship with other people. Children need environments where they are with their friends and have that opportunity to be with their friends. their psychosocial care, adult psychosocial care, is just as important as our physical care. If I can mitigate both things at the same time and bring people back together and bring life back, then I've done my job. And I sincerely think that everything that we're doing at ProtectX is helping to meet that goal and objective that I have in my heart. And that is the most important thing to me.
That is an incredibly powerful message, Carol.
Thank you.
There's nothing else to say. That says it all. And that speaks to the integrity and the character and the values that are the pillars of this business. So thank you so much for sharing. Anyone that sees this video, we're live now on Facebook, and we also you might see this on LinkedIn, but you're welcome to comment or message us privately for more information, and we'll make sure that you get all the information that you need. But this has been wonderful. I love your message. You are so inspiring and so passionate about what you do, and that really comes through. And I think that's another opportunity that COVID has brought to us, the pandemic, that we all are ready and hungry for that authentic, integrity in business. And it's very clear and evident that you are that. So thank you so much for who you are and for sharing today and for taking this time and letting me ask you a few questions.
Well, I love you, Michelle.
Yeah, I love what we're able to do, the impact, and it's a complete, you're using the word holistic. This is holistic regarding every aspect of business and safety and communication, and everything good is encapsulated here. So thank you so much for who you are. It's refreshing and wonderful.
Oh, well, thank you.
And we're going to sign off unless you have anything else to say. We are here to be of service in the highest and best way possible.
No, I just want to thank everyone for taking the time to listen to this video. And if there is anything that we can do, if you're a mom and you feel like you want to make introduction to your school, or you're a business person in a bank and you want to make introductions, we want to spread this message and we want to get it out there. And so share on social media. And we look forward to just everybody getting back to normal, getting back to work, being with each other, friends, family, and colleagues.
Beautiful. Thank you, Carol. Well, you have a beautiful day, and I will see you. And we're celebrating. So let's go celebrate Earth Day.
Go out and put your feet on the earth. Earthing is good for you.
Yes, earthing. Let's earth.
All right.
Thank you so much. Have a great day. Bye.